Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here. Today I'm going to be filming a really fun book tag. I was tagged to do this by Emily from Novel Novels, and you all know how much I love Emily's channel, so go and check out her channel. I'll link her original video down below as well. And this tag is the Choose the Year book tag. It was originally created by Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures, so again I will link her video down below as well. This is a wonderful tag, and you basically pick a year that means something and you kind of answer some questions about books from that year. So yeah, let's get started. So question number 1 is to choose a year and say why you've picked it. So I have decided to go with the year 2007. In 2007 I was 15 years old and I had a quite life-altering experience. I had an undiagnosed, or unexplained should I say, brain virus, so it was quite scary. I was unable to use my outer extremities. I couldn't use my hands, couldn't use my legs, didn't really have any mobility very well. I could walk around, but I was not in any way like coordinated. My tongue felt like it was swollen in my mouth. I couldn't speak, and I was like that for about 6 months. And I felt like essentially what happened is my brain had a virus, as I said, undiagnosed, kind of nobody knows what the virus was or why I got it or where I caught it from, but basically it stopped my brain from being able to tell the rest of my body what to do. So I was completely like I just went from being one type of person to being essentially a complete form, like ghost of myself, because I just didn't have the motor functions. I didn't have the ability. I knew in my head what I wanted to say. I knew what I wanted to do. I could still, I could still think things. I just couldn't physically do them, and it was really, really terrifying. And then after 6 months, it just kind of went away. But now it's kind of left me. Sometimes I have the odd like panic attack now because it worries me that it's coming back. Because obviously, if I ever get a symptom that's similar, I'm like, oh my god, that's the end of that. So it was a massive, massive deal for me. But what it did teach me, because throughout that, because of the kind of deterioration of my speech and things like that, I did get bullied quite badly. I used to get called horrible names, and it really affected me and my kind of like feelings and kind of how everything happened. So it did teach me that life is for living. And so once I got my kind of speech and stuff back, it definitely made me think that you have to just go and do things, and kind of while you've got the ability to do it, do it. So that's the year I've picked. It's a very long-winded story, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so 2007 was a big year for me, kind of completely changed my view of things. So yes, I want to pick that year. So question 2 is which books published in that year have you read, or if you haven't read any, have you heard of? And I've kind of cheated and picked a book that kind of fits both of these. So I have read it or started to read it, but I do want to read it because I didn't really like it the first time. Like I said, I didn't finish it. I DNF'd it after about 50 pages, so just really couldn't understand it. That is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I was quite surprised this came out 12 years ago, because I know a lot of people are still waiting for the next one, and I'm like, if he hasn't written, well, he's written the second, I think, but there's another one, isn't there? I'm like, I mean, that's a long time to keep a series like on edge, I guess. But as I said, this is a high fantasy novel. As you know, I don't tend to read high fantasy a lot. I am trying to get more into it though. And this is it's actually a debut novel, I believe. I think this is Patrick Rothfuss's debut novel, which is really exciting. So like I said, read about 50 pages, didn't love this, but I don't think I fully really understood it, and I really wasn't in the mood to read a book that I didn't get. It's quite a big book as well, but this is a book that I do really want to try and read again, so hopefully this is one potentially I'll get to. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, but definitely I'd like to think next year I would. But let me know if there's kind of, do you think this is a book that you could enjoy if you didn't enjoy it the first time? Do you just need to get through the first 50 pages maybe and read the rest? I think it's, how many pages? It's like 650 pages long, so obviously it's quite like a chunky book. So yeah, let me know. I'm really excited and I do really want to read this one. Question number 3 is, are there any, I'm just going to read that off my screen. Are there any books published in that year that sound interesting, and would you read them now? So there were a few that I thought were interesting. I have a few to mention. One of them I actually own, and that is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Carla Tusani. I feel like a lot of people have read this year. I know that like Charlie and Emily have read this and really enjoyed it. And Carla Tusani is an author that I feel like has lots of amazing books. I think he wrote The Kite Runner, which I think is great, and I am excited to finally get to his kind of works because I feel like this has been on my shelf for ages. So hopefully I will read this soon. I think this follows something to do with the Taliban, and it's about love, and yeah, I don't really know too much else about it, but this came out in 2007, which I didn't know. So there you are. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Sorry, the camera just changed. It just fell over my phone, so now I'm propping it up in a slightly different place. I also am really interested to read The Vegetarian by Han Kang, I think is how you say it. I know that Lauren in the Books talked about this a lot a couple of years ago when I first started watching BookTube really like properly, and I was really excited to hear about that one being in 2007, so I could talk about it today. I think it follows, is it a Thai woman? I'm not sure of the nationality, but or is it Korean maybe? I don't know the nationality of the woman, I just know that she comes from a place where I think it's Korean possibly. She comes from a place where being vegetarian is really not a thing, like nobody is, and it's not a cultural thing for them. And so I think that the main character decides that she wants to be a vegetarian, and it's kind of about her journey through that, I guess. So yeah, I really want to read that one as well. And then the third one I really wanted to mention was Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabrielle Zevon. I have heard about this book for about 3, 4, 5 years, and every time I hear someone talk about it I really want to read it because it sounds really, really amazing. And I love the book Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson, which is about a woman with amnesia, and I find that to be a really interesting kind of thing to explore in books. So I definitely want to read Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac, and again, another one that came out in 2007, so it was a great year for books that year. Question number 4 is most obscure sounding book, and the one I wanted to talk about is actually one that I've now added to my TBR because I'm quite excited about it. It sounds really good. It's called The Black Swan, and it's by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. So I'm just going to read a bit of the, I'm not going to read it all because it's really long, but a bit of the synopsis. So I'm going to be looking on my computer just over here. So it says, a black swan is a highly improbable event with 3 principal characteristics. It is unpredictable, it carries a massive impact, and after the fact we concoct an explanation that makes it appear less random and more predictable than it was. The astonishing success of Google was a black swan, so was 9/11. For Nassim Nicholas Taleb, black swans underlie almost everything about our world, from the rise of religions to events in our own personal lives. And then it's meant to talk about kind of how we kind of have restricted our thinking and kind of how that's a thing, and it's sort of like a psychology book, I guess. I'm really interested in it. It's not something I'd ever heard of before, but I have now added it to my sort of Goodreads TBR, I guess, so maybe I'll read it at some point. Obviously I don't have a copy, but it sounds really fun and like a great non-fiction, and I do love finding non-fiction that I don't know about. So yeah, definitely one I'm interested in, and definitely very obscure. And then the last question is strangest book cover, and I went with a book called Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. I will put a picture up on here as I have with all the other books I mentioned. This just, I don't know, there's something about this cover that I'm not 100% sure. I find it really weird, and it kind of looks like ink blots or something. I'm really not sure, but it is a poetry collection, which is not something I do tend to read, but I have been trying to read some because of Charlie from Charlie Brooke. If you don't know Charlie, I'm sure you do. And yeah, I just really want to talk about the cover on it because it's really weird. So let me know if you think it's weird or if you've read it and what you think, because I think I saw some quite mixed reviews on Goodreads when I looked up this book in the first place. So then we're going to go on to people I tag. So I'm going to tag Hayley from the channel Hayley Marie. I love Hayley's channel. You should all go and check her out. She's amazing, and I would really like to see what year she picks and the books that she picks from this list. I also would like to tag Nikki from I Read Past My Bedtime. Nikki is a wonderful, wonderful booktuber. She comes up with amazing things, and she always tells me that she can't answer tag videos, and I don't agree. I think that you can, so I'm going to tag you in this so you can do it. And I'm also going to tag Alex from Ernest Alex Reads. Alex is a channel that needs more subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed to her, do go and check her out because she's absolutely phenomenal, and her videos are like some of my favourites to watch. So yeah, go and check out her channel, and I tag her too. I will also link down below the Goodreads page, which I found the year that I looked up, and I found the list of books that I could kind of mention in this. So yeah, if you want to do this video, or you're one of the people I've tagged and you want to do this video, then go and check that link out, because a Goodreads link, because that way it might be easier for you to find it, I guess. And then I want to do my video shout out for this video, and today I'd like to shout out Scott from the channel Book Invasion. I actually first met Scott in terms, I think I posted something on Twitter when we were doing the collaboration for Hungry Bookworm, when I was helping her with that, and Scott responded, and so I got to talk to him a little bit, and he was part of that collaboration, so I will link his video for that down below so you can go and check out that collaboration because it was so much fun and really, really great. And yeah, I've loved his channel ever since. I know that he reads completely different stuff to me, but I find that to be really interesting, and I love to hear people talk about things that I've not really, like, it's not my genre or anything like that. I just think he's really amazing. He's definitely very talented, has lots of different you know, ideas, and he's just wonderful. So do go and check out his channel if you haven't already, because I think he's fab. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye guys.